Hey friends, okay, I have exactly 15 minutes to do this for you guys. I have a whole list of things here. First of all, I just want to say I'm super proud of you for those of you who decided to go ahead and resubmit your outline and improve it so it followed proper APA format and also so it didn't meet plagiarism guidelines. They look amazing. And so I just want to say great job. You should have gotten a new grade on those resubmits. They were really, really well done. Okay, so we're going to be reviewing what is coming up for the end of the term. So I'm just going to get to it. All right. So first of all, I'm hoping you see this. Okay, perfect. All right. So first of all, what this is going to look like is you're going to do module 7. This is the last true module that we have for the term. Um, what you have here are examples of informative speeches. Just kidding. I'm gonna delete that. That's awkward, and I wonder why that's there. Okay, so um, what? Dear. Okay, so our primary issue here is actually the persuasive speech, not issue, but project this week is the persuasive speech. I am going to be going over that in more detail in just a minute. Just be mindful that chapter 20 kind of talks about persuasive speeches, so they should go, your quiz should go hand in hand. You're going to want to read chapter 8 of the student guidebook because that's where you're going to find the assignment details. We are going to go over them, but that's where you're going to be able to reference them. You do still have a discussion this week. You do need to do an outline. And remember, that outline needs to have a title page, it needs to have in text citations, and it needs to have a reference page. So please make sure that you're following that full proper APA formatting. And then you need to have a practice form. Also, something else I was really proud of you guys for those of you who chose to engage with the speaking lab and got some really, really good feedback and sent me that or posted that to your assignment that they looked really good. So I'm really proud of you guys. You're doing great. Um, so that is like the 18th. So this started yesterday. It's going to go till the 23rd. And then we're going to have like a 2-day module, which is like the 24th to the 25th. This is just kind of your persuasive speech is your final. So it's not due until the 25th, but you should be working on it, researching it, refining it for the whole week. You also are going to be asked to do a 6-word memoir. I'm going to explain that in a little more detail as well. And then if you can just review how you feel like you've improved during this class and what you've learned, that's what this assignment is. And then this is extra credit. So this is SRI, meaning like you're going to do, it's a student evaluation of how I'm doing as your professor. Um, I confess that I do review these, but they're actually really, really hard for me. Um, that is a story for another day. So just know that if you like super hated this class, you should just send me an email. So, but I would encourage you to do that because it actually helps my career. Like my career is dependent on whether or not you fill out the SRIs. So if you've had a positive experience, I would just plead with you to fill that out, and also I will give you extra credit for that when you take a screenshot that you've completed it. Okay, so that is what is coming up this week. Okay, so let's move on to the 6-word memoir. All right, so these are some of my very, very favorite ones that I've received over the course of my teaching. There's only 3 of them here. I wish I could literally put all of them because some of them are just hilarious. And I've also had students who do the one that's required by the assignment and then do other ones for me too. Anyway, it's a fun project. It might seem dumb, but we know that when you're creative in your review and reflection process, it actually helps you retain your information better. So it might seem like this is stupid busy work. It's actually not. It's a retention strategy for you and what you've learned. Okay, so this one I just got last semester and I thought it was so funny. The 6-word memoir requires you to write a reflection about your experience with public speaking and you need to include an image with it, essentially you're making a meme, okay? So this was one I got last semester. I thought was so funny. I hate public speaking, still do, right? So it's exactly 6 words. Here's another one that's a totally different tone. Prepare diligently, practice tirelessly, perform brilliantly. Another great example, the images correlate with class, they correlate with the topic of the assignment and the words. And so these are all the things that are on the rubric that I'm looking for. And then this one I thought was really inspiring. Fears of public speaking are gone. And they did a really good job with an image that kind of correlated with that. So that is the gist of what you're looking for with the 6-word memoir. Okay. So that's not due until the 24th, I believe, or the 25th, but just so you can kind of have it percolating in the back of your mind. All right. The next thing I want to talk about are your next speech assignments. So we're finishing up with the persuasive speech. The purpose of this is to take something that might be controversial and give a speech about it. Now, I've had this question already, and it's a good question. Does it have to be political? Does it have to be a social issue? Technically, it does not. So the challenge here is, one, I actually was a political science major, so I love those issues. Um, so if you do them, it's more fun for me. Okay, but there's another reason that benefits you. They're easier to do because there's usually a lot of research about them. And so that's why we encourage that direction. But if you like hate politics and you hate social issues, it's too controversial for you, you can do other things like someone in class, I hope this is okay, I'm not going to say names, is actually going to do a persuasive speech about why it's really important to listen to music. And so for their sources, they're going to use uh, research about what music does to the brain, what music does to the body. So you can do other things. And I've had students do I've had students do things like why we should stop listening to Beyonce's music because she's probably the head of an organized crime ring. Um, I mean, that one was funny, but if you choose something like wild like that, let me work with you so we can make sure you actually meet the requirements of the speech. Again, you can see how, like, if you're going to do a speech on why um, if there was a public academic epidemic again, like COVID, why wearing masks is important or why wearing masks is not important. There's tons of research on that, right? You could put this together pretty easily, and that's why we encourage you to go in that direction. Okay, so the time is 6 to 8 minutes. Do your best to stay in that framework, and you need at least 5 to 7 sources. Okay, ideally peer reviewed, credible sources. If you have a question about a source or you're picking a very bizarre topic, let me know. And because I want to work with you on sources, that's why. Now, this one is worth the most points of all the speeches you've done. It's worth 125 points. Okay. And you do need to stay in your time frame. You need an outline, just like all the other speeches, and a visual aid. Okay. Sometimes a PowerPoint, just doing something like I'm doing now, is helpful, is the best. Obviously, speaking note cards, that's how you want to do that. You still need to do a practice of some kind, and the ethical communication piece of this is really important. We want to make sure that we foster a climate of respect. So if you record this and it's private and you don't think anyone's going to see it, you're wrong. Okay. So you just, even though I'm your likely only audience, you still want to be respectful. And that means that you just provide equitable and equal treatment for all people, regardless of race, religion, sexual orientation, gender identification, disability, socioeconomic status, or national identity, or, and I would add to this, immigrant status. So please be kind and compassionate. You do not need to worry about peer evaluations. That's something I've pulled out for this class because it's just so intense. Okay. All right. So that is what is required for that speech. And then the next thing I want to talk about, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes here to make sure that I get to all of the. Okay, so one final thing I want to talk about is extra credit. So if you need extra credit, I am more than willing to help you with that. I want you to be able to get a grade that reflects your work and intelligence. And so if you want to put in extra work, I'm willing to give you points for this. I will offer 7 points for each time you do this. You can do it up to 3 times. So 7 points times 3 is 21 points. That's like 2 quizzes. That's like 2 practice forms. Like in this class, 21 points is fairly significant. Okay, so what you need to do, you would come to TED.com. You can pick any topic. I genuinely don't care. And you're going to click on one of them. Okay, let's say I decide to do this one also because I'm obsessed with AI right now, like many people are. And then what I would do is I would get the informative speech rubric from Top Hat. Okay, so after I get that rubric, I will grade their speech. So that's what you're doing for your extra credit. You're going to watch it and you're going to grade it and you're going to give them a score. And then what you'll send to me is what grade you gave them and why. Okay, so I will actually create a form in 7.5 where you can submit that if you would like to do extra credit. If you have other questions, you're welcome to message me in Canvas. I will see those more quickly than an email. Okay, uh, finally, the informative speeches are going to take a minute for me to finish grading. So if yours hasn't been graded yet, just know that we're working on it. I'm hoping to have it done in the next 24 to 36 hours. So that's what we've got here, friends. I hope that you are well. I'm excited. I'm very impressed with the work that you've done this term. So, okay, please let me know if you need anything.